Welcome, foolish mortals, to another episode of the HitchHiking Host Show. I am your host, your ghost host, Wes Troop, and I am finally back on track here, ladies and gentlemen. We're back for 2020. Took a little bit of time off for the holidays and whatnot, following my latest Walt Disney World vacation. But the show has returned. And as always, we're here to talk about some trending topics at Walt Disney World. So let's see what's happening down in the parks this week. Okay, so we're going to start our tour around the world here over at Epcot because it kicked off the 2020 edition of this year's Festival of the Arts this week, now through February 24th, celebrating the visual, culinary, and performing arts. You can even exercise your own artistic talent at multiple interactive exhibits and workshops like Figment's Brush with the Masters Scavenger Hunt, Animation Academy at the American Gardens Theater, and the Expression section, Paint by Numbers Wall Mural in Future World. Interact with the Epcot living statues in Future World East, and marvel at acrobatic performances of the art-defying Gravity Troupe at the World Showcase Plaza stage. Also included are the Disney on Broadway concert performances nightly at the American Garden Theater and 12 food studios to whet your appetite. So, Festival of the Arts, I have never seen this in person, but it would be something I'd be very interested in checking out if I were to be at Walt Disney World this time of year in January and February. It seems like a really cool festival, a lot of cool things to do. Of course, they've got those food studios, as they're called here. Of course, they're like basically the booths from the Food and Wine Festival, but just different food and whatnot inside of them. And the Broadway concert performances seem cool. Yeah, it definitely seems like a cool little thing to do over at Epcot, in between these festivals that seem to be going on all the time now. You have Food and Wine, you have Flower and Garden, you have the holidays around the world, and now Festival of the Arts. So basically the summer is the only time there's really nothing going on. But yeah, Festival of the Arts seems like a lot of fun. It is now through February 24th over at Epcot. And speaking of Epcot, in addition to the Artful Eats, fun activities, and Disney on Broadway performances, 3 new attractions also have opened in celebration of the annual event and will be there much longer than February 24th. These are not going away anytime soon. All right, first, Awesome Planet, an on-screen exploration of the realm we call home. This film at the Land Pavilion showcases the spectacular beauty, in-theater effects, diversity, and dynamic story of our Earth with all the grandeur guests have come to expect. Now, this film is over in the Land Pavilion, where the Circle of Life film used to be. Haven't seen this one yet, obviously, but I'm going to see all these new films when I go back to Walt Disney World on my next vacation, September and October of this year. I can announce that. It's all booked. And, yeah, can't wait to see how this film compares to the last one that was in that space. Now, also, Canada Far and Wide, the new 360 degree film over at the Canada Pavilion. Using all new seamless digital technology, the new 360 movie named Canada Far and Wide includes new scenes, story, and music narrated by Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy. Now, I was a little worried about this one because I've always had a love for the Canada movie over at the Canada Pavilion. Got to see the original one many, many years ago, and I loved the Martin Short film that had just been in there. So I thought, well, hopefully this one will live up to both of those. I watched it on YouTube, and it looks great. It really does. And I was so glad that they, spoiler, still have Canada Your Lifetime Journey, the song at the end. That would have made or break it, I think. And that great shot of the Mounties on the horses. I said, okay, I'm down. I'm down for this. I can't wait to see this movie in person. And finally, the Beauty and the Beast sing-along over at the France Pavilion has opened, created by Don Hahn, producer of the animated and live-action Beauty and the Beast film. This new film includes highlights from the animated movie with a fun musical twist. So when I heard that this was opening, I thought, is it going to be like the Frozen sing-along over at Hollywood Studios? Are they going to have the live actors in there talking and explaining what's going on? No, this is just a straight-up film, but there's these fun twists of how LeFou got Belle and Beast to fall in love and this and that he's the true hero of the story. It seems like a fun little movie. I'll go see it when I'm over in the France Pavilion next. And if you're a big fan of Beauty and the Beast, I recommend checking that one out. Impressions de France is still playing. They're going to have a rotation. Right now, it's very heavily the Beauty and the Beast sing-along because it's new. But I believe that they're going to be like 50-50 in the future. But we shall see. So for you Impressions de France fans out there, it's not going anywhere. It's just going to be on a rotation. And speaking of Epcot, ladies and gentlemen, if you're soaring to or from Epcot on board the Disney Skyliner, there's a tasty new treat for your eyes. The sign for Gusteau's restaurant was just installed above the expanding France Pavilion in World Showcase. Gusteau's is the famed Parisian establishment home to Chef Remy from Ratatouille. It's also the soon-to-be setting for Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, the delicious new attraction opening this summer at Epcot. The new sign is visible from the Disney Skyliner gondola as you approach or depart the International Gateway Station, so keep your eyes peeled. Yes, again, something you can easily find on YouTube, the France version of this ride. You can see what it's going to look like. I'm really excited for the Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. I'll be excited to check it out when it opens this summer. Hopefully it won't be a letdown. And while we're still on over at Epcot, now that the guest experience team has been permanently installed in the Magic Kingdom, Disney's Animal Kingdom, and Disney's Hollywood Studios, the love is now expanding, well, there's only one park left, to Epcot. Beginning this week, the guest experience team will be on hand inside Epcot, helping guests make the most of their day by assisting them while in the park, by doing things like booking, modifying, and recovering FastPass Plus selections, navigating the My Disney Experience app, deactivating and reactivating Magic Bands, and just as cast members throughout the park already do, the guest experience team will also provide recommendations, help guests view attraction wait times, and also help guests navigate the park. So if you need a little helping hand, don't be afraid to look for those blue polo shirts from the guest experience team, and they'll help you out. I think this is a great addition with how technologically advanced things can be for the older crowds and generations there. I know if I gave my grandparents and said, this is what you do now for your Disney vacation, their mouths would drop. You know, so definitely it's nice to have some help. And now we're going to travel over and park hop to Disney's Animal Kingdom, because beginning next month at the Animal Kingdom, there will be 2 evening showings of Rivers of Light, We Are One, beginning on February 2nd and running through the 8th. These shows will be at 6:45 p.m. and 8 o'clock p.m. And then on February 9th and running through the end of the month, these showings will be a little later at 7 o'clock and 8:15 p.m. So if you're a fan of Rivers of Light, there will be 2 showings you can catch, which I think is great that they're doing a little later and not just the one. You won't feel as pressured to make it there for the first one if you miss it. Yeah, you know, I saw the original Rivers of Light before it went away, and then I got to see this new version on my last trip, and I'm not completely won over by the show. It's my least favorite of all the nighttime spectaculars. I do know that they can only do so much because of the animals in the park. They can't do fireworks and this and that. But it just felt a little lackluster to me compared to Fantasmic or Happily Ever After. But that's just me, of course. I'm sure Rivers of Light has people that love it. I just don't know if I would have to see it on my next vacation again. Was kind of the feeling I got, like, well, I could probably just leave a little early and go back to Disney Springs or something that night. But maybe I'll give it another shot. But in any case, Rivers of Light will be playing 2 times through the month of February. 2 times a night, that is, not just 2 times a month. All right, and finally, heading over to Typhoon Lagoon, which I got to check out on my last trip for the first time since 2005. So, yeah, got a little more familiar with Typhoon Lagoon. Disney H2O Glow Nights was a hit last summer. So now the Upcharge After Hours event will return to Typhoon Lagoon this summer on select nights from May 27th to August 29th, 2020. Guests attending the party can enter Typhoon Lagoon as early as 6 p.m. on event nights and stay until 11 p.m., enjoying attractions, special entertainment, food, and more. Here's the full date lineup. May 27th and 30th, June 3rd, 6th, 10th, 17th, 20th, 24th, and 27th, July 4th, that'll be busy, 8th, 11th, 15th, 18th, 22nd, 25th, and 29th, and August 1st, 5th, 8th, 12th, 15th, 19th, 22nd, 26th, 29th. Those are your winning numbers, ladies and gentlemen. You can now purchase H2O Glow Night tickets early for a special discounted price of $65. At the gate, admission will be $75, and annual pass holders, DVC members, can purchase tickets for $59. I saw a few reviews on this H2 Glow Nights extravaganza, or whatever you want to call it, and it seemed like a pretty cool thing. It really did. I would say it seemed like it was worth the money if you're a fan of the rides and stuff and the parties and whatnot. So if this seems like something you'd be interested in, I would recommend you check it out. I know I don't say that about a lot of these upcharge events, other than like the Christmas and Halloween parties that I love. But yeah, this would be something that I would probably be interested in. So definitely check out H2 Glow Nights over at Typhoon Lagoon. All right, well, that is the show. I will be back next week where we're going to see what went down at Walt Disney World then. But until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube, youtube.com/HitchHostShow. Like the show on Facebook, facebook.com/HitchHostShow. Follow on the Twitter at HitchHostShow. And if you want to listen to the show, or you are listening to the show, do so over on Podbean, hitchhostshow.podbean.com, or you can search under West Troop or the HitchHiking Host Show on iTunes or Stitcher. Until next time, don't forget to
hurry back
for the next episode. See ya.